to stretch. We're going to start with our upper body. Bring your arm across, stretch your tricep and your shoulder. Hold it for about 10 seconds and do the other arm. Now stretch your tricep. And the other. Now complete 10 small arm circles. Big ones. Stretch your forearms. And the stretching is on our internal movements and our body control. We're going to practice throwing the frisbee without the disc and just focus on our movements. So you're going to have a nice powerful step in and downward and throw through and keep the arm level. Notice where your arm is and where you end up. You want to be pointing towards the target. The grip we'll be using for the classic throw is you'll place your two fingers right here, your pointer and your middle finger, and you want to grip with your thumb right on the lip. You want inside of right here, and you want a nice firm grip because you want it to pop and snap right when you release. And you want it to come off your pointer finger last. So it's going to come off your middle finger, and then you're going to point with it and snap it off your pointer finger. So like most movements, a frisbee toss starts with your stance. You want a nice athletic stance about shoulder width apart with your knees bent. When you come back, you want to bring your weight to your back hip and bend your knee, and then step forward and come down. So you're going to start with an athletic stance, bend your knees, bring your weight back, step, and come through. There's a different approach to a stance. Some people like to stay stationary, while some people like to shuffle. Same principle though, you want to stay low with a wide base, and when you're coming towards the target, you're going to bring this foot back and then step into it. So we're going to work like this. Low base, come behind, and step through. Low base, come behind, and step through. And that allows you to have a little bit more momentum going into your toss. Now that we know the appropriate stance, we can begin to learn how the upper body will move when we're driving a frisbee golf. So with the appropriate stance, the key to throwing the frisbee straight is having it level. If it's level, it's going to go straight and it's going to go farther than if it's tilted or bent. So the key to it is keeping it level even in your backstroke. So what's going to happen is you're going to want to bring your disc back about chin height. And you want to have your arms straight and you want to have your torso bent. And then you want to come through downwards at a level angle, point towards your target. You want to be perpendicular with your target or be able to point at your target like that. And that's where you're going to release. So you're going to start up here and come through and release straight away. This is the full motion of a frisbee golf drive. Pins straight ahead at 370 feet. We're going on hole number 1, and our drive is going to go straight and curve to the left a little bit at the very end. You're going to have to go through these trees, so you're going to want to align your stance to where you're going to point towards the target. That was a little bit far.
Using all the previous drills we showed you, this is the drive for frisbee golf, which is the first step.
First drill, we're going to practice the full driving motion into the basket from a close distance. That way we don't have to chase down the frisbee. This will allow you to practice at full speed without having to chase.
The most common error made by beginners is not maintaining the frisbee level through the throw. So when you bring the frisbee back, you want to keep it parallel to the floor, and then through the whole throwing process you want to keep it flat to the floor, and then you want to release with it flat. That equals a straight throw. The most common mistake made by beginners is incorrect grip. When gripping a frisbee, you want to have your index finger and your middle finger on the inner lip of the frisbee, and you want your thumb applying pressure on your pointer finger. You want a very firm grip, and you want to hear the pop of the disc coming out of your fingers when you throw. Most beginners have a weak grip, and it results in a flimsy and wobbly throw. So anytime you have a throw that wobbles or kind of floats in the air, that means it's because your fingers aren't tight enough against the inner lip of the disc and your thumb isn't applying that pressure. You want to hear a pop when you release the disc and have a nice tight grip. The most common mistake made by beginners is not releasing the frisbee right when their arm becomes straight. You want to release your arm when it becomes straight because this allows you to whip the disc right off your finger and create a lot of spin in flight. Also, this allows you to point directly at your target, allowing you to know that your disc is going to fly straight. Many beginners start by throwing and releasing here with their shoulder pointed up. You don't want to do that. You want to come down and point at your target and release towards the target. Many times you also see a beginner that will come through and they'll kind of step away from the target and let in front of them. This will result in a curve. The most common mistake by beginners is taking too fast of an approach on the tee box. When throwing a disc, you want to approach the drive with a nice, calm, slow shuffle or just a stationary stance. A lot of beginners will start with a crow hop or a fast shuffle and they'll lose all control form, so make sure to slow it down. The most common mistake made by a beginner in frisbee golf is releasing the disc at an angle upwards or downwards. Downwards is a result in a short toss, and an upwards angle is going to result in a boomerang effect, and the disc is going to float back down towards you. You want to come with a parallel angle to the ground or a slightly downward motion you can make while throwing a frisbee. Is if a person's hand isn't strong enough to hold it, you can switch from a driver to a putter, which has a thinner lip, and therefore they can hold it better. On windy days, you're going to want a disc like this with less drag and more weight as opposed to a lighter disc.